Scope.
Yet another winter storm menacing the east. The wintry mix is affecting places in the north, while heavy rain and potential flooding threatens areas in the south. Mike Bono has the details in the Forecast Center. Good evening, Mike.
Thanks a lot, Lisa. Yes, a lot of activity on the map. We've had a stormy go of it in the west, and actually the storm that's moving east of the Mississippi today is an offshoot of what was coming through the west just a couple of days ago, and stormy weather is in. We have now meteorologist Jamie Simpson, who is going to give us a little bit of insight on the different aspects of this storm. They seem to all have a tropical connection in the southeast this season, Jamie.
Yeah, a lot of systems that have come out of the southeast, moved up the coast, have had an awful lot of moisture, and they've all started out with quite a bit of heavy rain in the southeast. We're seeing that again today. As this system heads up to the north with some cold air in place, could mean some heavy snow for some folks in southern New England, as a lot of moisture will move into the areas with cold air.
And maybe even some heavy freezing rain and sleet in other areas.
Yeah, we're already starting to see some significant icing in some of the valleys in western Maryland and western Virginia during the day today.
Well, on the map, the players are there. We have our cold high to the north, and we have low pressure moving on in from the west and the south. As we take a look at our map, we'll notice a lot of colors on the map, Jamie.
Sure do. We have some light snow from this first low up in New York, and in fact, Saranac Lake was reporting a little bit of heavy snow the past hour. This is the area of concern through the rest of the afternoon. The valleys of central and eastern Pennsylvania down into the Shenandoah Valley of Virginia, especially, where we have some very cold air trapped at the valleys just below freezing, and we're starting to bring a lot of moisture into this area, and that is creating an area of freezing rain. And as I mentioned, Hagerstown, Maryland is now reporting some moderate freezing rain at the last hour.
Right. Well, temperatures in the big towns so far don't seem to be anything terrible, but you don't have to go too far inland, as usual, away from the ocean to get below freezing.
Right. 35 degrees in Washington, D.C. is at National Airport downtown, but just west of Dulles Airport, only about 20 miles west of the city, temperatures around the freezing mark. So folks heading out towards Manassas in Virginia and towards Leesburg will likely have to deal with some freezing rain for the commute home. And also quite a bit of cold air in the Shenandoah Valley right through that area, where they're still seeing freezing rain at this hour.
And probably most of the day from now on. Very dynamic expansion of the clouds in white and the precipitation in green.
We had some very dry air over this part of the country this morning, but you notice the clouds now streaming northward, and some of the precipitation starting to head into southern New England, up towards the Hartford area, back towards Danville, Connecticut. A little bit of light snow so far, but the majority of the precipitation is still well off to the south, and it's going to be several hours until it gets into New England.
Just a little renegade area up there around Hartford. It looks like the bulge right here is the real thing moving northward.
It sure is. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, still sitting below freezing, getting a little bit of light freezing rain right now, but a lot of rain headed their way. I wouldn't be surprised if they see some moderate freezing rain during the afternoon.
And here's a good shot of Interstate 81, and I believe US 11 parallels that on up the Shenandoah Valley. Trouble there driving today.
Yeah, once you get towards Richmond and Charlottesville, up towards Washington, D.C., eastward, temperatures above freezing and things are okay. But it is back in this area that temperatures are still cold enough to support some freezing rain, and travel along I-81 is probably just awful this afternoon.
As we see that dark pink area all the way down to the North Carolina state line, I think things are picking up a little bit in North Carolina now.
Right. Greensboro had some freezing rain this morning, but they've now risen to about 33, 34 degrees and probably will stay just rain the rest of the day.
Then we talk about accumulations, which away from the coastline will begin to increase.
Right. All that moisture down near Harrisburg will continue to head off to the north and east, and the Poconos towards the Berkshires and northwest Connecticut hills, the Catskills, could easily see 4 or 5 inches by midnight, and then that heavy snow will start to head towards Boston and southern New Hampshire for the day tomorrow.
Okay. Well, it all starts in the south, and a lot of rain began this morning in North Carolina. Folks were dealing with it on the way to work and or school. Coming down lightly at first, and luckily this part of North Carolina and the far northeast didn't have ice to deal with. But you may be seeing a threat of strong or even locally severe thunderstorms before this calendar day is over. On the map, a number of fronts in the south, Jamie.
Yeah, the focus of the heaviest rain so far has been in this area with this front up into the Atlanta area, and now some heavy rain starting to spread towards the Carolina coastline. And another area is Florida, which is no stranger to heavy rain. As this front continues to work off to the east and sweeps across Florida late this afternoon and evening, not only some heavy rain, but also the threat of some strong to severe thunderstorms, especially in this part of Florida, Orlando, Tampa, northward.
Already starting to line up from the Tampa Bay area up to about Daytona Beach, and I guess there's a potential for some of those to even get severe.
Yeah, we could even see a few isolated tornadoes across Florida. Very strong low-level southerly winds and a very strong jet stream coming in from the west. So the wind shear is there to produce the possibility of tornadoes, especially late afternoon into the evening hours.
Okay, thank you very much, Jamie Simpson, our meteorologist on duty, taking a look at this troublesome winter situation. Well, stay with us. We'll keep you posted here. We have crews up toward the northeast zeroing in on some of the trouble spots. Later on in the day, we'll hear from them. Right now, back to the studio with Lisa Moser, after which we want to tell you, remember, it's weather.com for the latest on the internet. Lisa?
Thanks. Mike Bono in the Forecast Center, keeping a close hand on the forecast and the current conditions to the east. We'll be checking back with Mike in the Forecast Center at the top of the hour. Well, elsewhere in the country, we are looking at the central U.S. It's quite quiet today, while snow and wind and rain are keeping things